Hello. Today we're going to be looking at the sorts of things you might want to sow your seeds in. You might want to start thinking about collecting some of these together. It's easy enough. Some things you can make out of newspaper. I've got a rinky-dinky little pot maker here. Just wrap the paper round, squidge it on the base, and it makes a nice little indentation. And these are really good for larger seeds. But if you don't have one of these, you can use the same principle with a jar. I made this one using exactly the same, and again, great for larger seeds. These cute little things are made of coir, and they're particularly good because you can plant these direct into the ground. So once your seedlings have established good roots, you can sow them into the ground and they will biodegrade. They're lovely, but again, quite small. Yogurt pots are great, large or small, they're really handy. As are these sorts of pots that you get your bedding plants or things in from the garden centre. And these sorts of punnets that also come from the garden centre with your bedding plants. They're great. Plants like to sit in something. It's best to protect your furniture. So things like these trays can be really good for sitting underneath things. Protect your furniture, protect your windowsills. Another useful thing, if you're really stuck, can be egg boxes. I've just taken the top off and used it as a base again to protect. These can be a bit tricky with watering, they can get very dry, but as long as you're careful, they can be quite good for growing lots of little bits and pieces, and they're useful. Plants and seeds, particularly when they're germinating, like to be kept warm. You can use something as simple as a clear plastic bag, settled over and sealed over a pot, or one of these. Stick's useful for holding it up off the seeds and allowing you to see what's going on underneath. It can be as simple as that, or you can use one of these plastic see-through covers, and that'll keep your plants and seeds nice and warm. Something I always forget to tell people as well, when you're sowing seeds, it's a really good idea to label them. The amount of times I've sown things and then have no idea what on earth they might be. Just going to have a quick word about compost here. I've got some seed compost here. It's very fine and has no nutrients in it. Seeds have all the nutrients they need within the seed. But if you don't have this or you can't get hold of it, don't worry. You can use just ordinary garden compost that you would buy. It's best to try and use garden compost rather than soil because it's sterile and it'll give your seeds the best chance to get going. And finally, watering. I find something like this is really useful. It's an ordinary milk bottle container. I've pierced some holes in the top. I actually put quite a lot in this one so that I can demonstrate it. And when it's got water in it, you can get a nice, even spray. Seeds like to be kept moist. They don't want to be drowned. This is one way of doing that. If you put them under the tap, they just get drowned. Next time, we'll start looking at what sort of seeds you want to grow. So think about what you'd like in your garden, what you'd like to eat, what flowers you'd like to see, and we'll get together again.